Garden of Terror, map number 1, qualifier number 4 for Meta Madness, and we are in the losers bracket. The Storm League Enjoyers against the Cats. Another best of 3 series, and again, 15 heroes are pre-banned. You can see them all right down here. And of course, every single hero can only be played once within a series. So the teams are forced to think outside of the box a little bit and to come up with new compositions as we're progressing from one map to another. We already had a couple of pretty interesting games in yesterday's matches in the winner bracket, but now we're going for the loser bracket runs as the teams are trying to make it towards the grand final and get more points for the leaderboard. Now, of course, the teams that make it into the playoffs, they will then play for the $2,000 prize pool. As mentioned before, we don't have a big name sponsor for this event right now, so the prize pool and the tournament are financed by me this time. A little bit of an early Christmas present for the heroes of the Storm esports community. And up to now we had some amazing games. We've already completed 3 qualifiers. Now we're in qualifier number 4 and the games just keep getting better and better and better. And we have a very interesting duel at the top, I would say, where the Raiders are facing off time and time again against the Saboteurs, and every single game is just a delight. Then we have the Akatsuki, of course, too, who are not participating in this particular qualifier, but are still in the tournament large, and will most likely join again for the final qualifier next week for qualifier number 5. But as we're headed into the game, we're now looking at a ban on Chromie, and we have also Stitches banned. Stitches is not having a good tournament, like not at all. So first he didn't get played, and now he's even getting banned. He's getting a lot of hate here. I think we need to bring Masquerade back with the Akatsuki to play a bit of Stitches, because my boy has been looking for playtime, and he has gotten none of it. So, yeah. But let's see what else they're going to get rid of. We have Rhaegar eliminated. Again, it is Garden of Terror. He is one of the best supports that you can possibly pick there. Of course, that's ignoring the pre-bans just for actually, no, even with the pre-bans, even figuring in Lucio, Anduin, and a few others, Brightwing, Rhaegar is still a top-notch support for this particular map. But of course, there would be some that would opt into, let's say, Anduin, Brightwing, or something along those lines. But in this particular case, Rhaegar, he gets the axe, he's out. And we'll see what they're eventually going to end up with. Globals are all still up, though. We have Falstad, we have Vikings, we have Samuro, and of course we also have on top of that Dehaka, and he gets picked first. Doesn't really surprise, honestly. Dehaka is currently just one of the strongest side laners with all the bans that we've already had. So, yeah, very much looking forward to what they can do with this. When it comes to power between the two teams, I mean, generally I would lean towards the Cats being the favorite here, but we have seen some very solid game from the Storm League Enjoyers as well. Now, since we are in losers bracket, it obviously means that whoever loses here is out of the tournament and will have to try it next week again. But here's Falstad, so they're already counterbalancing a bit the macro aspect that Dehaka brings to the red team, and we get Muradin for a bit of Stormbolt action that he can bring out. But I would love for the Cats to at some point bust out some Cho'Gath or something. It would be kind of fun. Zeratul very early. Zeratul going for the chicken, of course. My man's hungry and he wants to have a barbecue. Falstad is going to be on that target list. And Nubarak has also gotten a lot of attention yesterday. Particularly teams banning him out, not trying to deal with him. And now we're having Itrax locking him in very early. Support follow-up could be interesting. Stukov, Malfurion, probably the 2 top supports if you really want to play around the Nubarak and the engage and the damage. With the bans or the picks on the left side, yeah, we get a bit more camp clear, and they are picking Stukov. So now we have Stormbolt Muradin into Stukov's lurking arm, and Greymane for extra damage not only against heroes but also mercenary camps. Would still expect that we have a bit more bursty damage from the Storm League Enjoyers here. And very likely, I'd say Malfurion. I guess you could go for Deckard Cain at this point too. But if you want to have a follow-up CC, then Malfurion is likely with the Nubarak. So we'll see how exactly they're going to play it. But they go for Deckard, and they add more CC with Kel'Thas and Gravity Labs. So Alvaros is going to go for the Fire Mage here. And that leaves us with our final pick for map number 1 in this best of 3 series. And it's going to be Hirath that's going to go for the pick. And they need still a side laner. So currently they don't have one. Shouldn't really be the biggest issue, but they need somebody that can at least keep up with Dehaka here. Garden of Terror, obviously. Massive map. Huge. And what are the Cats locking in? It's gonna be Sonya. Alright. Stage is set. Let's go. Game number 1, Garden of Terror between the Storm League Enjoyers and the Cats. First game of the best of 3 series, and on the left we have Drak here on Greymane, Captain Rex on Stukov, Honglio is playing Falstad, Hirath, Sonya, and Krankle on Myrden. Over on the right side of the map though, we got the Enjoyers with Lavakal on Deckard Cain going on level 1 into the Sapphire. We have Ether on the Haka, Arion on Zeratul, Itrax on Nuburak, and Alvaros is playing Kel'Thas. Ashalanore. Salami. I still want my pizza. I talked about it yesterday already, but I kind of need my pizza here. So, yeah. Good old pepperoni pizza, a little bit of ham on it. Yeah. I could go for something exotic. Some pineapple on there as well. We'll see. We'll see. Something. A lot of globe towns actually for the red team. So we got Shadow Hunter, we got Regeneration Master, and we got Mana Addict. As everybody is just jumping straight into the middle. Every single time I see Draco these days, by the way, I'm reminded of when Hirath, Hirath, hello, Sonya, spin to win, nice, lurking arm, Zeratul, and he's dead. A lot of living bombs that are just dealing additional damage, but nothing is able to get a kill for them. So yeah. But I was about to say, the one thing that I will always credit Draco for, so in case that you weren't aware, Draco actually lives in Valencia. And he heard me talk about like burgers and pizzas and food in Valencia at some point, and he just messaged me in Discord and he's like, here's an address, this is the shop that you need to go to, order that burger and thank me later. And I actually did it, so I actually went there and it was absolutely amazing. One of the best cheeseburgers I ever had in my life. They come over to your place and they have a blowtorch and actually melt the cheese on the burger in front of you, and it was incredible. Amazing burger, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I immediately took some pictures and sent it over to them on Discord and was just like, dude, this place is amazing. So yeah, Valencia has some really nice burgers, great food as I've been talking about in the past, but that particular burger place already had a special place in my heart. It was like really, really nice. Okay, so camps are taken. We have still at 1 kill. Nothing outside of that has really happened yet, outside of the teams going at the 1 minute mark for some mercenaries. Zeratul at the bottom of the map, nearly getting murdered again. Arion just barely made it out here. But now as he taps the fountain, the blue team is already getting solid damage in on the structures and takes 1 tower down. They're destroying the entire wall here. That is some serious damage. Even the Haka is now coming in, forced to react to this, abandoning the top lane, trying to go for Stukov, and he gets away. Heals himself up and gets out. I like Kel'Thas. Again, Kel'Thas obviously making it back because we have so many pre-bans, and just generally there's a lot of the usual predators that can take Kel'Thas out quickly that are removed from the hero pool that allows him to get played again. And I just love that we have a mage that adds an additional CC, and living bombs obviously in big team fights can also wreak a lot of havoc and create chaos. So this is something that we've seen a few times already during the qualifiers. I really like that we're seeing it here again. Good damage from him thus far. Obviously, with Gravity Labs and Netherwind now being locked in, is going to be pretty good as well. But then again, first seed is up. We'll see which team is able to grab that. We have Slam build for Sonya. No big changes there. Ruby on level 4 for Deckard Cain. Myrden currently just funning around with an Uberak here. Also dealing with a cockroach. And so it's actually a very calm start into this game in series. Outside of the early kill, there hasn't really too much that has happened. Teams have started to set up some pushes with mercenary camps, particularly bot lane of the red team has suffered a bit. But overall, this is still fairly tame. Now Arion is likely going to make it out here. That Stormbolt could become a problem, but Deckard Cain is already healing her up, so not really a big chance for Krankle to get a kill here. We're now having also Falstad back down at the bottom of the map. And he should at least be able to take that tower down. I mean, come on, bro. That's a little bit of a meme. Take that thing down before my OCD here kicks in. Gotta kill them all. So yeah, this is already being dealt with. And talking about dealing with things, the cockroach is eliminated as well by Nuburak. And Noob got wrecked. So, Kanai's Cube is in. We also have Burned Flesh for Kel'Thas and a few camps could potentially be stolen away, but of course the first priority is the seed, and that is the first thing that they're getting. So seed is already locked in. With that, they're attempting to take down Zeratul again, who has on level 7 gone into the Warp Skirmisher, which we're seeing a little bit more these days as well. All the way up at the top, Sonya still holding her own, more than holding her own, able to take the wall down too. Blue team is a bit ahead here. They have, of course, taken a very significant lead in experience, as you can see up on the board. The 2 kills contributed to that too. But the amount of damage that they're doing to these walls is already a very good step into the right direction for them in the attempt to take the lead, of course. So down at the bottom of the map, Falstad is still sitting tight here. And once again in the middle, Gravity Lapse from Kelsas. This time looking really good here, but Alvarez might be in trouble. Has to get out. Zeratul saying hello and taking down Stukov. The Admiral is gone. The Haka is also joining the party. And now they're just 5-manning the hell out of them, taking Greymane apart. Which of course allows for Falstad to have a lot more space and time at the bottom of the map. He's done damage on the fort and has gotten some experience for the team. Sonya was able to sneak in a Siege Giant camp that she grabbed at the top left, and now it's just a question of who takes the seed. Sonya might be able to interrupt this a bit more. Level 10 is of course in, but they already locked it in, so each team has one. And we now have Wrath of the Berserker, Avatar for Murden, Bullet, Mighty Gust, and the Flailing Swipe for Stukov. So, nicely done. Again, 2 kills to 2. Red team has therefore been able to catch up in experience, to an extent at least. Dehaka with Isolation as usual. Kelthas going for the Phoenix here. Doesn't want to embrace the meme and go for Pyroblast, which I can absolutely understand. Apparently he wants to win the game. How dare he. And we get Stay a While and Get Wrecked. So, nice. Okay. Might of the Nerazim as usual for Zeratul. So that's the first thing that we're getting here. And they're pushing again for that fort. Now, they'll need a few reinforcements if they really want to have an impact here, but just look at Zeratul. Zeratul gets murdered. And this just underlines once again how strong the teams currently are with them following the movements of Zeratul and all the options that he has. I've been talking about this throughout the third qualifier in particular, but it always amazes me. They're really keeping track of him, and it's nearly impossible for Zeratul players to have the usual impact here, which obviously also explains why normally, with normal rules, we don't see them as often anymore. Sonya's at the top, trying to go for a second fort, but the blue team already successful down at the bottom of the map. Krankle able to get out, and they're still pushing this. And the longer they apply pressure here, the better for Sonya. She's all alone at the top lane, and she is going to destroy another fort. She's doing a lot of work. Falstad goes down, killed by Zeratul. So now that he's back, he's finally able to at least get a counter kill. They're looking for a few more. Zeratul himself gets stiff-armed by Stukov and gets dropped, so it's an exchange in kills. But Drakia is in trouble with Greymane, tries to get away and fails to do so. So he is dead too. But in the meantime, Krankle and Hera moved straight into the middle of the map and took down another fort. 3 forts destroyed. Great play there. Really well done. They have the 1 level lead, 4 kills to 4, and all the outer structures have now been demolished on the red team side. And in addition to that, they're getting a free seats. This is 2 seats to the blue team. A level 13 talent that is kicking in for them too. Currently, we got the sustained wins. We have Virulent Reaction for Stukov. And they are trying to also invade a few camps here. Alvarez did not sniff that out. Healing Static is now in for Muradin. Actually, an interesting choice. He didn't go into the double clap on level 4, but still uses Healing Static on level 13. So normally when you see Reverberation as a level 4 talent, it's going to be Bronzebeard Rage that Muradin goes for. But in this case, it's... I mean, it's not really anti-synergy or anything, but he's going to get a lot less value out of his Healing Static than he normally would if he would have gone for the proper level 4 talent. But either way, things are looking quite alright for the blue team. They are now ahead by an entire level, and they are getting... yeah, they're getting actually a lot of momentum here. Level 13 talents for the Enjoyers. They get the Ancient Blessings. And this is a potential seed that will unleash the Garden Terrors. Still only 9 minutes into the game. Nubarak has not made a choice yet. He's not quite done yet either with his Regeneration Master, so he is at 18 stacks. Kelthas at least is done. That's going to help him a lot. He's of course going to try and stack this as much as he can. Get the Acid Drenched Mandibles now for a Nubarak on level 13, alright. And they're trying to zone them away from this. Yeah. Zeratul already going for it, but in the meantime, while Zeratul is distracting 3, Dehaka was able to take down Falstead. The birdie gone. They're trying to move in again for another kill, this time against Mirrodin. Also Nubarak with a dive. Cocoon gets used against Greymane, but everybody else is still sitting up at the top. Red team is trying to go for the seat, of course. And blue team attempting to just delay them long enough for Falstead to not only come back, but fly in. But now Stukov gets caught, and he has no chance. Stay a while and get wrecked. Mirrodin gets caught and he is in real trouble. Okay. I was fully waiting for them to try and chase him down here and just obliterate them, but they let him go. Budget Gimli is still alive. Good for him, I guess. And now we might not have that big of a lead in experience anymore for the Cats, but of course they are still ahead. Now the good news for the Enjoyers is that they have now 2 seeds to their name too, which means that once that the next seed is spawning, they might have a chance to go for Garden Terrors and maybe draw even in overall structural position. But there's a level 16 talent now just as the seed is about to spawn. With that we have Greymane on Executioner. Already up at the top. Bam. Quick camp taken. And Dehaka should at least be able to threaten the fort a bit with this. But I like that the blue team immediately moved down to the bottom of the map and said, you know what guys, we're going to get some freebie damage in on the bot keep wall. And then we can build on that later. So yeah, this is what they're currently trying to do here. 16 talents on both sides. And of course for Kelthas that means it gives us Ignite after we got the Pyromaniac. Damage output, just a bit of an idea there. I mean, if you're looking at it, we have 25,000 for Kelthas. Falstead is now flying out of the fight. We'll have to heal up here. And, well, Greymane gets caught. So, they're starting to lose a lot of heroes. It's now 7 kills to 4. And on that end, at least, the Enjoyers are catching up. So, with the seed now spawning, this is an opportunity for the red team to lock themselves in objective number 1. And then try and take some structures down. And if the blue team is overdoing it with their attempt to delay things, they might lose another hero and fall even farther behind. Because this is not looking too great for them. Herath gets attacked and is slowly moving back out. Yeah, is able to escape, but they're now going for the channel any moment here. Deckard Cain has started it up, and that is a set of Garden Terrors. Maybe a bit of a pause there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it doesn't really seem like they lost somebody. Not that anybody dropped over here. But they're now in a weird spot because this entire game was pretty much just a really good spot for the blue team to be in. I mean, they took all of the forts down, they were able to get some kills, they pulled ahead on the objective. And then the last few fights simply turned against them. So now the Enjoyers have gained a lot of momentum, and this is going to be a set of Garden Terrors for them. If you're looking at the lanes over here, not too much is going to happen. But up at the top, for example, the Garden Terror is essentially going to spawn right next to the fort. So this fort should fall. And if they're pushing through the middle here as well with, let's say, 4 to 5, they should be able to do some serious damage now too. So it's still problematic, and I could totally see the Enjoyers now getting slowly ahead, not only in structures but also experience. They will definitely catch up to a huge degree. Cocoon is already out. They try to go for the birdie. 1 stun, 2 stun. Falstead still fine. Gets the gust out just as the gravity lapse was about to connect with him. Now Falstead dies regardless because Dehaka came in from behind and took him down. The Enjoyers, ladies and gentlemen. Not the best early game for them, but now they are wreaking havoc over here. That top fort is under pressure, might be saved thanks to the defense attempts of Sonya, but here in the middle, absolutely no chance to save this one. And down at the bottom of the map, it doesn't look too good for this fort either. So a huge momentum swing in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. Getting another kill, don't they? Of course they do. Mirrodin is dead too. It's Heroes of the Storm whack-a-mole. Every time somebody pops his head out, he's getting killed here, and they are going for a keep even. This went from 0 to hero. The Enjoyers are doing so much damage now all of a sudden, and that was definitely not anticipated. fantastic for them. Absolutely fantastic. They're turning the entire game on its head. We have them with a half-level lead. Zeratul is on his way to the top. The fort in the bottom of the map gets destroyed. Up at the top, they're now moving in with the whole 5-man, and they're taking this one out too. So, yep, there it is. Easy peasy. 4-9 the kill count, and this is a massive, massive lead for the Enjoyers now all of a sudden. It was such a great game for the blue team, and they just lost all their advantages. I mean, everything has now been reversed. In experience, at least, they are fairly even, so level 20 talents, there shouldn't be too big of a gap. And I am very intrigued to see what's going to happen on the next seed, because this is a chance for the Cats to get an objective. And who knows, if they get their own set of Garden Terrors, they might be able to turn it once more. 39,000 damage is top damage in the game now for Drag here on Greymane, and we have 33,000 for Khaldor and Alvaros. So, siege chains at the bottom of the map. I mean, this is going to get spicy with the next objective for sure. Sonya hasn't died yet. She's actually the only one on the blue team that has not fallen yet. Okay, and well, let's see what they can do. I'm really curious if the next team fight is going to go a little bit better path for them, because I believe the last 4 team fights went really poorly for the Cats. The Cats are being thrown into water. They're looking like a wet poodle, and they don't like it. And there's another push at the bottom of the map with level 20 talents this time. Yep, respect the elderly. We're getting the Shadow Stride here, and we also have Flamethrower, which of course makes Khaldor a lot more annoying, since he's now going to stay even further back in the distance. But thankfully for the seed, the Cats have their own level 20. Wind Tunnel, as per usual agreement, we get Controlled Chaos, and we got Rewind for Murden. Okay. With that, here's a chance. Get the seed, bring it back. They need to win a team fight. Question is, can they? Stukov in particular needs to be a bit careful on where he goes. If he's too far out and he gets caught again, they lose their healer this early, then yeah, he has a problem. And Nubarak misses both his stuns though. Atrax missed the stuns, goes Rewind, and they take Stukov down, but Nubarak gets killed. Only one team has the sustain though. They go for Zeratul, and he gets murdered. Greymane comes in and takes him down. 2 kills for 1. Initially it was Stukov that fell, but then they claim Zeratul and Nubarak. And here's the chance for a seed and a set of Garden Terrors. Nice! So, big opportunity now all of a sudden to turn the game again in their favor. Let's see if they can pull it off. Sonya is going through the top lane like hot butter through cheese as she burns through one minion wave after another, prepping the way for the Garden Terror. And in the middle of the map we have the rest of the team doing their thing, trying of course to path the way so that they can take a keep down too. Falls down at the bottom of the map. He can always fly in at any point, any moment. Not going to be an issue for him at all. But they really need to do something. Just pushing the lane out and taking more map control is not going to be enough. You need to do some damage at least at all of those structures. So yeah, something has to happen here for them. And they're seemingly focusing now on the bot lane. Mirrodin is already there, up at the top. Sonya has retreated after they were starting to jump in. And here it's time to try and take one of the keeps down. And honestly, this is looking pretty good. With Greymane in Warden form, he just chunks this thing down. Hit points are disappearing within seconds. But Zeratul is now trying to chase. Missed the Singularity Spike though, so he won't be able to leech onto Falstad. So this got really... I mean, this got hot. This was already a pretty cool game right from the start. At times a bit tame, but now we're having each team with one keep missing. And the top keep even taking additional damage. So how are the Cats going to play this out? This is... yeah, one Siege Giant camp they can lock in. And this obviously is Siege Giant camp at the bot lane where they don't have a keep anymore. So this is going to create even more pressure and somebody will have to deal with it. And it seems like this is going to be a Zeratul as they are moving in over here. Stukov, he is again face checking a bit. But yep, they might be able to get that camp. And they do with Zeratul pulling guard duty at the bottom of the map. They are with one hero less at the top. And so both of the camps get lost. 10 kills to 6. This is a really cool starting game. I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this. The Cats looked great initially, and then it was the Enjoyers that turned it around and nearly won the game there. But now the Cats themselves in the driver's seat, making all the decisions. Sonya with a couple of slams. Stukov is fine again. Dehaka is in the back. They're already sniffing him out. Isolation misses completely. And there's also the wind tunnel as they're trying to chase Dehaka down. Don't think they can actually do that. Way too many shrubs, and he is just rushing around. But they're catching him. They're chasing him as best as they can. Stormbolt to the face. Dehaka tries to get away. Maybe now a chance. Muradin, does he have rewind? Well, if he does, he didn't use it. Dehaka is nearly dead, but it's Falstad that falls. Deckard Kane with another old Falstad is gone, and now Muradin is barely jumping out of the fight. Middle of the map, Siege Giants that will attack here soon. Down at the bottom, 2 catapults are so far in position. No team has a single seed, so this one that just spawned on the map is not gonna have that big of an impact, or at least it shouldn't. So one thing to keep in mind. And then at the same time, we have the red team with a lot more control now, of course, because of the moves they just made. So they are able to take some camps that are going for the seed. Sonya sitting at the top is apparently waiting for Ether to move a bit farther out so that she can do damage. Greymane, talking about damage, he's top damage in the game, 53,000. Zeratul is at 47k. So he's doing well. Zeratul is adding a lot here. Now, Sonya is still at the top, and Dehaka too, so they don't really have vision on Sonya. If Dehaka moves down to participate in the fight, that could become a problem. And talking about Dehaka, he has to soon deal with this, and they're already starting to ping it. It's actually a Nubarak that moved back in Hearth, so apparently he's going to be the one to try and take care of it. You gotta remove these catapults as quickly as you can. It's Winion time. We are 20 minutes into the game, and you can't let catapults this late starting to attack your core. That's not going to end well for you. So, for sure a problem. But, up at in the mid lane, we now have them going through another camp. Obviously, that seed you kind of want it. Kind of want to draw even with your opponent. Dehaka is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's sitting down at the bottom of the map. He has the global. He can always join the team. So let's see what he can pull off there. They're trying to keep an eye on Zeratul as well. And the more damage they can put on Arion this early, the better, honestly. So, yeah, he gets attacked hard. Krankle with the move and the Stormbolt. Full YOLO is like, I got him! I was like, yeah, well, maybe not quite. Yeah, it's close enough though, I suppose. So, yeah, they try and grab that seed. Muradin gets attacked. He should be fine. In the back, yeah, Greymane in trouble against Zeratul. Drak here gets a heal, but Gast, oh my god, they actually saved Greymane. Greymane and Muradin are both incredibly low. Sonya with a couple of spin to win moves, but she is going to fall now. Tried to go for the counter kill against Khaldor. That didn't work. Now it's a 5 versus 4. Zeratul jumped in again. Muradin already hopping out. But this is still really bad news for the Cats. They're always clawing their way back into the game, but it might just be a bit too much to ask now. It's 12 kills to 6, so again the last 2 fights have gone very well for the Enjoyers, and they just gain a huge amount of momentum here. They have 2 seeds now, meaning the next one would unleash another set of Garden Terrors, and yeah, just generally, they're doing better in these fights by far. Khaldor, with all of that spread damage that he brings in, has now taken over. Top damage in the game, 57,000. So, yep, Fireboy is doing well. We're on level 23, nearly 24. And here comes seed number 3. So, that's the chance to get another set of Garden Terrors into the game. And they have also a few camps. Especially the Siege Giant camp at the bottom of the map is saving them a bit. Deals with catapults, but could also push the lane out further. And by now we have level 24. Yep. And everybody is getting ready for the next fight over the seed. So, party time. 60 stacks for Falstad. 46 stacks on Khaldor for some additional survivability. And if they can, once again, move in and take down either Stukov or maybe Greymane, that would likely spell out the end of game number 1 in the best of 3 here. And they start things off with Cocoon. They force the fight. Greymane gets Cocoon. He gets burned down pretty quickly. Didn't have a mad impact, so some cooldowns were already burned. They're trying to go for Atrax now. Bullet is already out. There's the wind tunnel. Stormbolt missing though. Nice counter attempt against Zeratul. Oh my god, Dehaka gets melted. But Stukov is in trouble and dies. The problem is that they lost the Nubarak in the same fight, so now it's still a 4 versus 3 on the map, and they should be able to get that seed. They will for sure. Somebody has to go towards the top of the map and make sure that this camp is not doing too much damage. But we're now 24 minutes into the game nearly. And there is no real end in sight. Teams are just not able to get enough kills to go straight for the core, particularly as we have heroes dying on each side. But, yeah. Another Siege Giant camp about to be taken. Actually, sorry, Bruiser camp. Siege Giants are all removed on the map already. Degard Kane still hasn't died, and neither has Khaldor. In the middle, talking about Degard Kane. With a frowny cloud. Degard Kane is sad. He's sad because he's so old. Just imagine him in his younger days. He would just take the stick and, you know, just hit Greymane over the head a couple of times and easily win the game by himself. Back then, he wasn't only a healer, but he was, like in his young days, you know, like 120 years ago or so. He was a spry chicken with a big stick and just hitting wolves over the head all day, every day. The seed is up. Still something that the red team can give up, but the Dehaka came in and says hello. And yes, again, Khaldor, as usual, pissing people off, doing his job. Good camp pressure at the bottom of the map together with the catapults. That could become an issue for the Enjoyers. So we might see some winning action at the bot lane, so keep that minimap inside. Hirath survives. Yeah, okay. Zeratul was trying to confirm that kill, but couldn't, so nice for them. The channel has been interrupted multiple times, and again, keep that bot lane in mind, because this is a huge amount of pressure that is marching towards the core, and there's a chance that they're gonna get this. Stormbolt interrupt once again, and boy oh boy, do they need to make a play here, because the core will be attacked in a few seconds. That's already 2 catapults. Another minion wave spawns that buys them more time, but we are now 25 minutes in, and they have to fall back. They're realizing that they can't let these catapults onto the core. There's a third one coming into, so they have to deal with it, and as they fall back, the seed gets grabbed by the cats. So 2 seeds for each team. 26 minutes into the game. A 5-kill advantage for the Enjoyers. They still are ahead here, and Zeratul is now pushing out the top lane. Down here, Catapult is again saying hello to the core, gets a hit in or two. And again, these bad boys, they start to really hurt. So this bot lane is a thorn in the side of the Enjoyers. Yeah, very optimistic. I mean, putting the fear into the hearts of your opponent is always a nice thing, but Krankle was a bit too optimistic when he went for that jump and Stormbolt. That went... It was a zoning Stormbolt. He tried to zone Zeratul out, mission accomplished. Zeratul moved back. And now it's all about them trying to come in here and getting that seed. Because let's face it, one team is going to get it now. And then it's just a question of, can they push for core with it, yes or no? So we're gonna get some Garden Terrors, and who's it gonna be? Zeratul is already sitting at the side here. I think they sniffed him out though. Kind of know where he is. There they saw him. Enforced that immediately barrels out. Dehaka coming in from the side. Gets a good connect in on Stukov. But the fight is not over, and they had to retreat a bit. Zeratul in particular was already on the move back. Krankle able to jump out. Zeratul comes in and drops him, but they go for a Nubarak, and it is Degard Kane who saves the bug. And now it is time for the Enjoyers to reap what they saw. They came in with a kill, they got it against Muradin, and now it's a 4-man that is desperately trying to stay alive here. Catapults at the bot lane, Siege Giant camp up at the top, but things are looking grim for the cats. Here come the Garden Terrors, another drag from Dehaka, and Sonya is toast. Sonya is gone, 8 kills to 15, and now the Garden Terrors in the middle and over here protecting the top side keep. It's really the mid lane that they have to try and escort out, and with the 5 versus 3 situation, this is looking especially good for the Enjoyers. It seems like after this crazy comeback in the mid game, they are now able to go for the core and win game number 1. Pretty impressive, honestly, considering how things started here. 93,000 damage by Greymane, 95,000 by Khaldor, and we have a winner. Garden of Terror goes to the Enjoyers as they take down the cats in our first map of the best of 3 series.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Dragonshire, game number 2. So the enjoyers are in the lead. And we've been talking about Christmas candy. So I just said that we have actually in Germany candy where it's like amazing. So there's Christmas candy that we have, and you can get it at pretty much every supermarket, and it's just like a long chocolate. It's a long chocolate bar. So it's like chocolate covered, and there's marzipan inside and nougat, and the thing has an insane amount of calories and is worth every single calorie. It is awesome. And I just said that there's people that I know here that whenever some of this stuff gets sent over, they unwrap it, and then they cut it into little pieces. They bring out a plate, they put it on the plate, and everybody around it, like very civilized, takes a tiny piece and eats it. And I'm just always sitting there like, eat the entire thing! What are you doing? You don't cut this. This is like a chocolate bar for a reason. Just because they made it look pretty doesn't mean that you have to cut it into little pieces. You take the bar, cram it in your face, you eat it, you feel instant regret, and at the same time the pleasure of 1,000 sugar calories, and you're just like, yes, worth it. So, I don't know, people are just doing this wrong. I talked about this before in the context of M&Ms. Do you know like the shit that they're actually doing where you have now this little lash where you can close an M&M pack? Who the fuck uses that? Who does that? You open the bag of M&Ms, you eat it until you have to puke, then you finish the bag, and then you're happy. That's how you do it. Who eats like 3 M&Ms, closes the bag, and puts it away for later? People like that are just suspicious. They're totally suspicious. You can't trust them. Don't trust people that don't finish an M&M bag in one go. They are untrustworthy. Heroes of the Storm. Exactly. So, we have 25 heroes banned out, guys. 10 heroes were played in game number 1. They can't be played again. 15 are banned completely. And now we have Zagara first pick. Like, I don't really know what to say here. Zagara first pick. You guys are aware this is game number 2, right? We get Varian, we get Lunara. Zagara is looking at me like strangely as like this. She heard that story about the M&Ms. She's like, the fuck are you talking about? People close M&M bags. Look at Zagara's face. You know that it's true. She's looking at me as like, he's lying. That can't be right. Like, I know how to eat M&Ms, and that's not how it works. So, Zarya and Garrosh. There we go. Oh, by the way, don't try this shit when you live in the US, okay? They have like 1 kilogram bags of M&Ms. I think even I would capitulate on those. But the normal M&M bag, yeah, that thing has to go. That thing just has to go. The only way where we're not finishing this is because we didn't buy it, because we have to train and we need to get in shape for a race or something. That's when we're like just letting that go completely. But when it's in the house, it gets eaten. There are rules here. We have to follow the rules. So, Varian and Lunara on Dragonshire. Rexa banned. I don't know. I'm looking at the draft of the blue team, and I already feel a little bit sad for the enjoyers. Have you ever been to the United States, by the way? Have you guys seen that? So when you come to Spain, you have like one aisle, and then a third of the aisle on one side, there's the candy. That's it. It's all the candy that you get in the supermarket here. Then you go to the US. You walk through the store, and then there's like an aisle. It's like twice as long as an aisle in Spain. And on the right side, you have up to the top, half of the aisle is just the M&Ms. I'm not shitting you. Half of this thing is just M&Ms. The aisle continues with more candy. On the other side, it's doubled, more candy. And there's another aisle next to it where there's more candy. That's America for you. But like just one thing, like when I lived there, I had to walk like this to the supermarket so I don't end up fully obese. It was spicy. But yeah, you have all kinds of sizes and variations. 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, like you can drown in that stuff. Malfurion and Cassia. I like the draft from the blue team, I'm not gonna lie. This is very push heavy. Very aggressive draft that they're now running. Of course, the enjoyers, they have also nice stun combos. A lot of CC in general. But unless they force fights, win them quickly, it's gonna be rough. Alvaros. Final pick for them to try and bring this together. They still need a bit more damage. Let's see if they can chase them down. They go to Gul'dan, so they definitely have damage here, but I like the draft of the blue team a bit better for sure. With a good 4-man and then Zagara, they should be able to do a lot. We'll find out if it's going to be enough. Game number 2, everybody. Dragonshire, let's jump in. The enjoyers against the cats.
Prepare for combat.
Cats against Enjoyers, the match point for the red team as they are hoping to drop the Cats out of the tournament. On the left, we got Captain Rex on Malfurion, Dracula on Cassia, Yreth on Zarya, Honglio is playing Zagara, and we got Krankle on Garrosh. On the right side of the map, the Enjoyers with Lavakal on Uther, Ether on Yrel, Alvaros on Gul'dan, Arian on Lunara, and Itrax is playing Varian. So the Garrosh Zarya comp for the blue team, so they have Speed Bubble on level 4, so the synergy between the two obviously hinging very heavily on Zarya's level 4 talent, speeding up Garrosh, allowing him to run into the opponent's team and just flip around everybody that he wants to. We got stacks also for Cassia, so Dracula is trying to stack it up a little bit with a Thunderstroke over here, and is already sitting at a solid 5 stacks, and is just using that frontline wall for a bit of target practice and to get some additional hits in. So, not too bad. Up at the top, that's where we have Zagara taking on the solo lane. Now, of course, she can also put in quite a lot of extra vision with her creep tumors. This is something that Yrel and anybody else that is just going to visit will take care of as quickly as possible. If you let Zagara's creep spat get out of control, then it's just an absolute map hack. So if she goes all J-Dong on us, then it's going to be a problem for the red team. But the blue team is already wreaking havoc down here. Having a full-on 4-man with Zarya Garrosh push like this can be problematic. At the top, I'm really curious to see how exactly Ether is going to deal with all of this. I mean, at this point, Zagara, of course, heavily dependent on the mana pool first and foremost, but we'll see how much she can actually do with this. Because Yrel is still a fantastic side lane and has a lot of good sustain too, so it's going to be very difficult for Zagara to do anything about it. But there is a certain amount of wave clear that she can add. The invade makes perfect sense. If you have a combo that is this strong, then yeah, you wanna force 4-man fights, you wanna go in, start doing some damage here, and this is exactly what we're getting from the Cats now. So they wanna force game number 3. I mean, they're clearly here to try now take 2 in a row, move on through the losers bracket, and hope to gather additional points for the ranking so that they can qualify for the playoffs. 15 stacks for Cassia. And we'll see how the Enjoyers react. Generally, their draft, I mean, it's not too bad. They have a lot that they can do if they are able to go in and get some kills. I mean, you can see how quickly, for example, Garrosh drops down to 50% HP. But it will be difficult because all of this really hinges just on these stun combos that they have and the damage follow-up. Careful. Garrosh. Yeah, that could have been the first blood in the game. Varian comes in again with another taunt. And everybody is being pushed back out, but you can tell that these walls are falling and they're falling quickly. And that is just the glory of coming in with all that damage and all that sustain. Here's again another flip and attack. The taunt is out. Varian still alive. They're looking for that kill. I'm actually amazed, if nothing else, that the Enjoyers haven't lost the hero yet. Particularly with Garrosh now just rushing in with a speed bubble. They've been doing a lot. All the way up at the top. Another quick mace to the face of Zagara. Does Zagara even have a face? I mean, what is this? Can we call it a face? Or is it just a head? Like, I don't know. But, yeah, Itrax needs to get out here. Now, they are just yielding space. And look at how quickly Cassia is stacking. 27 already. Lunara, Bambi, and Bambi is gone. So, bye-bye Bambi. That was easy. And all the way at the top, after that first blood, Zagara still trying to pressure this a bit. Yeah, and of course Ether saying hello here too. Big fight at the bottom of the map, even diving behind the fort, maybe diving a little bit too hard, but they get their kill. And yeah, this pressure is going to continue throughout the entire game. You have one of the best siege lineups now, and that's what they're doing. They're just sieging. They burned through the wall, and now they're slowly burning through that fort. And I just don't see the Enjoyers being able to save that fort here. It's 2 kills to 0 already. Now we're having the Hand of Protection for Uther. Yeah, but I mean, they're now just going to switch over into the mid lane, trying to do the same thing there too. Look at Varian getting attacked immediately, so they just can't do enough. And Cassia is stacking like a god. 33 stacks at the 4-minute mark is insane. That is really good. So he is going to be very happy with that. If he can continue stacking like this, the damage output that we're going to get from Cassia is going to be out of this world for sure. So in the middle, they're very likely soon going to continue the same type of play. Zigara still holding on to the top lane fairly nicely. They don't really care too much about the objective and the shrine right now because the game is absolutely going their way. So you don't need the objective at this point in time. If they can deal with all of these camps, then it's totally alright. They can move into the middle, try and take another fort out there, which is essentially what they're already doing. So Zarya comes in and goes brrrr, and the tower is basically gone. So one tower is already gone, second one is low, so is the gate. With Lunara saying hello at the top, they have to of course respond to that as well. But the situation is still remaining very similar to what we just talked about. They're going to get the early level 10. They're getting some control over here too. Nobody can move into the middle and deal with the double control. Zarya might actually die here. Yeah, she definitely is going to die. Not going to survive that. The heal from Malfurion just a second delayed. But finally a counter kill. Finally a kill by the Enjoyers. So, good for them. We get more. And I talked a little bit about stacking on Cassia, but let's also mention Gul'dan here. He's on 21. You want to be done when you get Ruinous Affliction. That's kind of the idea behind it. So we'll see if we can do that. Bambi is getting a little bit jumpy here. Going for Leaping Strike. So, decent Horrify. Not good enough to really prep a kill. Oh dear, Lunara has to be careful. Leaps around. Dragonite is taken by the red team, so that was a success. But with the old... Oh dear. Oh dear. No. Bambi dead again. Bambi down, boys. Bambi down. Bambi is as dead as his mother. And yep, Bambi was a boy. I get that wrong all the time too. I thought that Bambi was a cute little girl deer, but nope, Bambi was actually a boy. Which was always weird until I remembered at the end of the movie he's like this majestic stack or something. So, Uther gets destroyed. He's down. And we still have the Dragonite doing some damage down at the bottom of the map. 4 kills to 1 puts the Cats into a good position regarding the kill count. But I have to admit that the Enjoyers are fighting back. They got at least 1 kill. They got the Dragonite. They were able to do some damage, take the wall down at the bottom of the map, take the wall down in the middle. They're not able to take a fort, but still, they're slowly getting there. One after another. Root on the ground against Varian. I think you should not be able to root any kind of fire hero. Can you imagine trying to root, for example, Blaze in real life? You would just burn all this shit down. Like, easily. So, this is the real problems that we have in Heroes of the Storm. It's like inconsistencies. Once that there's like Malfurion and it comes in with a little bit of root and there's just some plants on the ground. I mean, Bambi could just eat them. You could just burn them away with your Kel'Thas, for example. Yeah, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Why can you blind Illidan? Can somebody explain this to me? Why is this a thing? Why can you blind a blind man? Why is that a counter? Like, Blizzard, I see what you're doing there. You're gaslighting the shit out of us. And we're not even questioning it anymore these days. It is incredible. Level 13, a little bit quicker for the Cats. Yeah, Siege Giants are gonna be locked in. More gets 2. I don't think they can do anything about that though. Maybe they can take Bambi down again. Oh, haha, the Divine Shield to counter the Valkyrie. Nice. And they might get that kill. Yrel. Yrel, she's alive. How is Yrel still alive? Either is gonna fall. Please. No way. Don't tell me he's actually gonna get out here. Yeah, Varian is dead, and Zarya goes brrrr, and Yrel is dead. The Space Goat is gone. Now, 6 kills to 1, and this game is going as expected. The draft for the blue team was awesome from start to finish. 28,000 for Cassia, 16,000 for Zarya. And now they're just attacking, sieging, taking structures down. Forts are getting destroyed all over the place. Topside is getting attacked too. They're pushing through the middle. And unless there's a bit of a miracle and a huge swing of momentum coming, the destroyers are... the enjoyers, the masochists they're going to be in a world of pain here soon, TM. So yeah, Varian is coming in and is trying to taunt everybody, but it's not really yielding any results. Maybe now. Garrosh gone. All right. So they're able to take Garrosh down. That's a good step. Garrosh is eliminated. Yeah, 6 kills to 2. That was only the second kill that they got. They got one against Garrosh and one against Zarya. And maybe another Dragon Knight? It's a 5 versus 4 on the map. I don't really think they can. Well, maybe. Honestly, if they would commit... I mean, they don't know that. They don't have minimap vision. But if they would go into the middle and now fully focus on that, they get a Dragon Knight. And actually, they do. They might also get a kill here. Yeah, that's a kill for sure. Bye-bye, Zarya. They let the Dragon Knight go, though. And Zagara is now taking over the top. So they just sacrificed the... No, they got it! They got it! Zagara started the channel at the top later than I thought. So Dragon Knight and a kill. Nice! Guys, what is happening here? Are the Enjoyers actually going to do it again? Are they going to pull it off once more? We got a well met and the pursuit of justice. So Uther dropping the hammer here. Abolish Magic is in as well. Yeah, a bit of an ass kicking for Cassia, but Gul'dan is gone. Alright, Gul'dan is out. Dragon Knight was able to take the fort down. That is the first one that fell. Level 16 talents are now there. And they're trying to get away. They should be able to escape. 77 stacks, by the way, for Cassia at the 11-minute mark. That's not bad. Yeah, she's getting good damage out. I don't think she's going to be able to take down Uther anytime soon, but that's still some decent damage she was able to get. Ooh, Divine Shield. Yep. And she still dies. Not like this. Outplayed herself. Uther first with a Hand of Protection and then even the Divine Shield to save Lunara. And because she was just hopping around the entire time, she just could not get past that gate. And now the keep is being sieged up on. Yeah, that's rough. Horrify is in. They're getting good damage through. Might get the kill also on Garrosh, and yes, they get it. Garrosh is gone. Well done, but they are not out of the woods yet. Nope. 8 kills to 4. 16 on both sides again. Here comes Varian. Not a lot of effective hit points right now. They're still looking for that taunt. Gets the taunt. Oh my god, it tracks, dude. A little bit more careful here. And of course, Sin, they lose both. They lose both since Divine Shield wasn't available anymore. At least Bambi is back, so Lunara is trying to get some damage in. Hobbity Hop gets fully surrounded and dies. So did Zagara. Bambi, she came, she saw, she died. Veni, Vidi, BG. So, that's how it all started, by the way. That's a bit of an idea. So, first, nice dodge. Hand of Freedom. Divine Shield. Meh, meh. Jumps around and dead. So, 12 kills to 5. Now we have them at level 18. And yeah, the keep is gone too. So, full on fiesta now. Bit of a crazy one, honestly. Chance to get the first Dragon Knight for the blue team. Cats have an opportunity here. And I think they might be able to even fight it in the middle. The red team, that is. I mean, nah, okay, they're not even gonna try, are they? They got full control right now. They don't send anybody into the middle at all. We currently have 12 to 5 kills, 43,000 damage by Gul'dan, 51,000 damage by Cassia, and they can now decide who they want in the Dragon Knight, and it is Zagara. Okay. Yeah, they're apparently trying to go for the core. I was just thinking that maybe it's a bit too early for them to try and make a core play, so that there's a chance they might go for the they keep in the middle. But they're syncing up the two camps, so they've taken Siege Giants, they've taken the Bruiser camp, and they're syncing them very nicely. So the whole idea is to end the game, force game number 3, and then continue the party there. So, let's go. Look how quickly that Dragon Knight, by the way, is burned to a crisp. Already lost more than 50% of its HP. So there's some serious damage it can put on this thing. But they still might lose the game here. With 2 camps and also that aura assist, that is huge. Dragon Knight is about to fall, but so does the shield on the core. I think they might still be able to defend this. It all depends on whether or not they're able to take a hero down here. So there's the Horrify, buying them a bit more time. Isolating Krankle, 70% on the core. Garrosh likely to fall. They jump in again, they want the kill, and they cannot get it, can they? Maybe now. Maybe now. Krankle finally dies. The core is at 71%. There's a bruiser camp at the top that could do damage at the fort. Something to pay a bit of attention to on the minimap at least. But they are of course hoping to get more kills now. So there's another hit and another stun. They got Zagara down at the bottom. Could jump in here now and they find her. Zagara is gonna die. That's another kill. Ooh, but they lose Varian. Not like this. This, on the other hand, at the top is going to help them a lot. So yes, this fort is going to get destroyed. That's the good news. But the fight down at the bottom of the map is now centering very heavily around the remaining heroes of the blue team, trying to do some damage. 107 stacks for Cassia. We have also the pack instinct now for Zagara, so more damage for her. 13 kills to 7. They still have a numbers advantage. If they can stack kills, that would be great. Maybe Malfurion would be a good target for them. They just can't get close enough. So what can they actually do here? Don't forget, they lost nearly 30% on their core. They want level 20 is of course one of the next important steps. But any staggered death would be great. Now it's a 4 versus 4 though, and they don't seem to be willing to deal with that just yet. So off we go. 13 to 7. We now have level 20 talents in for both of the teams. Seraphim is in. Intensifying Toxing has also been taken. And I guess we're gonna get Redemption from Uther. Yep, we do. So, Redemption is in. Has been taken. And the Shrine's activating. Next, Dragon Knight can end the game if the blue team grabs it. Yeah, Indomitable, okay. Hoppity hop, Bambi. Oh, they go for Cassia. Cassia, there's no heal here. There's no heal. Cassia is alive and gets out. But Garrosh died. And now Malfurion is also in trouble. The old geezer's trying to get away and this just has no chance. If they would have killed Cassia here too, that would have been such an amazing situation. I can't believe that the Enjoyers are still in this. I cannot believe that they are still in that situation where they can turn the game around. It's insanity. The Cats had an opportunity to end the game already, and now it's another Dragon Knight for the red team, and we're now 17 minutes in, so this bad boy is going to hurt a lot more than previous ones. We have the bot fort already getting destroyed, and the Dragon Knight is now heading exactly for that bot lane. Another taunt, another hit. Can they maybe take Uther down? No, but Zarya, staggered death against Zarya. They have only 2 survivors. That's insane. Do not tell me they're actually winning the game now. That's incredible. What? 62,000 damage for Gul'dan. If I'm the Cats, I'm freaking. I'm freaking out right now if I'm on the side of the Cats. They have dominated this entire game. They got multiple Dragon Knights. They did damage. They destroyed the bottom keep. They went for the core. And now they're just looking at this thinking like, why is this happening again? What's going on here? Boys, I blinked and all of a sudden we're losing. How is this possible? Ult out on Urel and yet they go for the core. They try and end it here. And can they? The dodge on the Maw, the core is falling quickly. I can't believe this is happening. What the hell? How? How did they do this? The Enjoyers with a 2-0 victory. And the Cats are eliminated from qualifier number 4.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.